What's up, Neil?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. Looking at the cat.
Yeah, what did you do? You had migraine medicine today? What's the vibe with that?
Sort of. I get migraines, and Catherine Gorham has a joke that she says that's like, only women get migraines.
Yeah.
She always goes, does anyone get migraines? And I go, woo! And then she goes like, yeah, women get them. But I kind of was headachy today, and I ran out of Advil, so what I've been doing is biting a migraine pill in half, and then
Oh, wow.
because it's apparently just a ton of like really strong Advil and then a ton of caffeine in a migraine pill.
Nice.
So it's like, okay, like I kind of get excited to take them.
That's what I do is I do 2 extra strength Tylenol. This is my dad's, right? Because my dad also gets migraines, but my sister does too, to credit women with migraines. But I get migraines, and my dad's thing is you take 2 Tylenol or Advil, you drink a whole Coca-Cola, and then you lay on the floor in the dark.
Right, which is just a migraine pill.
Yeah.
That's just caffeine and 2 Tylenol,
Yeah.
I think.
I saw that on Reddit, and it was like, somebody was like, r/migraines. Like, I tried everything, and then I finally drank Coca-Cola, and it worked. And I was like, hey, you fucking idiot.
Alright. Yeah, that's like the hangover, what's recommended for hangover stuff is like spicy food and a Coca-Cola.
That's Anthony Bourdain's thing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's something. Yeah.
That's it.
And it really, his hangovers really worked out for him.
Yeah, it's clear. Really never had any pain, never felt bad at all for even a moment of his life.
Hey. He probably didn't have a headache when he killed himself.
No, he might have.
Yeah, he probably felt great. He thought it was time to go.
He finally felt at peace.
The actual backstory of why he killed himself is he paid off someone to not talk about Asia Argento being assaulted by Asia Argento.
I don't know about that. I don't know who that is.
It's a documentary on it. So Asia Argento is like an actor that was sexually assaulted by Harvey Weinstein. So she was part of that whole movement with like Rose McGowan. But Asia Argento also sexually assaulted like a 17-year-old boy.
Oh, I kind of vaguely.
Yeah, and then Anthony Bourdain like paid him to be quiet.
Whoa.
And then he couldn't live
Paid
with the
the
guilt
boy.
of it. Yes. And then he
Why?
I don't know.
What was Anthony Bourdain's association with Asia?
They were fucking. Oh yeah, I should clarify that. Yeah, she was like his new
I
girlfriend.
thought just like because they're.
Yeah.
No, yeah, just like, you gotta look out for another famous
He just
person.
wanted like a.
I don't think that she told him the full story, and then I think he found it out, and then he killed himself because of that. Is what some people allege.
Wow,
But
that seems. But he was also like he was like taking stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's known that he did heroin. I don't know why
Yeah,
I'm saying like.
it's in his book. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did it a lot. I read his book, and he's doing heroin all the time.
That guy was absolutely mental.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, we also, if you watch early episodes of his first show in the New York Times Network, it's free on YouTube. There's an episode where Anthony Bourdain films himself. It's in L.A. He's talking about, I guess, like Chris Farley had just died.
Whoa.
So he's kind of making like dead Hollywood jokes.
Oh, he died in like 2004 or something, right?
Not like
No,
1990.
early, like 90,
97.
yeah.
Oh, you know why I thought that? Because there's audio. He played Shrek originally.
Oh, yeah,
And,
Shrek.
But Shrek came out in 2001.
Yeah,
right?
2001,
Okay,
yeah,
So, but yeah, there's like a different version of Shrek out there.
Well,
That is like not as good.
The fact that exists like does make me think like how much early did they record the voice lines, and then like how long did it take to animate that they had time to bring Mike Myers in?
True.
Yeah, I think it was one of those things where it was such a different movie because they have animatics of it, and it's a true like cartoon movie. I mean,
Yeah,
not
like
that Shrek
a
is a
2D,
cartoon
yeah.
now.
It also seems like it'd be bad.
Shrek is real.
Not
now.
to shit on Chris Farley, but I don't think like having a Scottish guy who farts is funnier than like just a fat guy.
Yeah, like I've seen the animatic thing, and it's only just him and Donkey going like, "Why are you so afraid to push everyone away, Shrek?" And he goes like, "Leave my parents out of this," and he like cries. It's like
Yeah.
it's not a good movie.
I don't think Shrek should be from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. This is Riffipedia. For the way of background, this is the podcast where we riff on random Wikipedia articles. What we do is we go to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. There's a little button in the top left called Random Article. We're going to take turns clicking that, and we'll be forced to riff on anything that comes up, no matter how stupid and bad it is.
I'm not sure if I see this button. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's in the. You got to hit the little hot dog hamburger thing at
gotcha.
the top left.
Yeah, this week's guest is the illustrious Neill Lynskey, best known for that video where he was like an elf or something.
That's what I'm best known for is Biggins the Elf.
No, I mean, I'd probably not. That's just.
Well, I've told you this, where I saw your one video on Is it Home Planet or Home?
Home Planet is Joe.
Yeah.
Gleason, now
It was an early video of theirs, and I saw you in that, and then I met you like 2 weeks after.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was kind of freaked out.
Oh, I didn't know that. I actually
Yeah.
like that you had known me a little bit before.
Yeah.
What was that video?
I think it was the one you were singing on the roof
Yeah,
while
the
smoking
rapping one,
weed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's pretty cool.
But it was just like alarming.
That is cool. That actually makes me feel great. 'Cause you do see that. That does happen in comedy,
Yeah.
where you just kind of, oh, I know. Like I had that with they have a really good sketch group, Montessori Boy. You know?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think I had known them a little bit, but I became like a real fan. And then they were at my birthday party that you couldn't go to, and I couldn't go to your birthday party because it was the same day.
Rival birthday parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a real bummer.
Well, I had that with, I won't say who because this is a recording and there'll be evidence, but there's a comedian that posted their nudes on the internet. And
Okay.
and 2 years ago
Are
they
you
were.
sure you can't tell me what it is?
What am I gonna? 2 years ago they were at my birthday, and they came with somebody else, and I was like, "What? This is weird. I don't like this. I've seen you naked before."
And you said like, "Hey, I saw you."
Well, I had a
Who can believe you're in my bedroom?
Hey, what are
right
you doing
now?
with clothes on?
But it was but my girlfriend was there, and so she talked to them like the whole night because it was just like two girls like chatting it up.
Hell yeah.
Because it was just two girls.
Well, it was
That's the time
my,
you're
I don't know. You weren't at my party.
Well, they were the only two girls in the apartment.
Yes,
You realized. You know?
pretty
At the
much.
birthday party?
No, that was a joke, but I mean,
Close?
Really?
Well, it was actually
That was 2 years ago, right? I guess I only really remember.
I'm
That was 2 years. That
2
was,
years ago. Vic brought a bunch of chicks.
No, that was 1 year ago, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, sorry. 1 year ago. 1 year
Yeah,
ago was the person.
2 years ago we like didn't know anyone.
Oh,
yet,
2 years
so-
ago. It was just
Did
like,
I know you guys?
Yes, we did, but you know.
But I wasn't invited to
You-
the birthday
I
party.
think
You were
I
probably-
think I invited a lot of people, and like 8 people came. And
Really?
It was chill.
Damn.
It was chill.
That's why I have Michael Aber as a co-birthday party man.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah, you gotta hedge your bets a little bit on those things.
Yeah.
But yes, Biggins the elf is in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
God, I wanna keep that going.
actual biggest credit, just for laughs, unrepped new
You don't
faces.
just say unwrapped. You
New
can say
faces.
regular.
Just for laugh, new faces. Period.
Just for laughs, you know, losers with no future.
No one else knows that it is unwrapped. Like people don't, or like some people do, but it's like generally no one ever says that. So I'm like, great. I kind of like
He may
snuck
be-
in. With,
He may be unreft, but he has a great rep.
I'm not
around
unwrapped
these
now.
parts.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's how we had to book Neill through 4 managers. It was fucking crazy. We had to contact his accountant who hooked up to his business manager, and then he had like a scheduling woman, and she sounded really stressed out. She was like
Oh my God.
scared of Neill.
I would love a scheduling person,
Me
or
too.
doesn't have to be a woman,
Yeah, in
but
general.
I guess you.
Yeah, I was just making the joke that you have like someone kind of enslaved that's like planning your events.
And of course, that's a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a big problem for me because I get booked on stuff and then I don't remember saying yes.
Oh,
And then I wake up to an Instagram message, much like today.
and
And 2 days ago when I did a show, I woke up. It's always just, oh, that's what I'm doing today because someone was nice enough to remind me,
Yeah.
basically.
yeah.
Oh, I think I actually
You hit it?
did the random thing.
Oh,
by
which
accident.
is it?
Transition Town.
Transition Town.
Okay, this
This is kind of like the sitcom idea I had.
This
Is it Come Town but they're trans or
This
what?
is maybe potentially. I don't really want to riff on this one.
What we can risk? What?
Well, you know what? It's just a great.
No,
time.
so the way we do it. So the way we do it, just read the title and then read the first.
First, like paragraph, a couple
Yeah, yeah.
sentences.
Yeah.
right?
Okay,
Yeah.
the term transition town, transition initiative, and transition model refer to grassroots community projects that aim to increase self-sufficiency to reduce the potential effects of peak oil, climate destruction, and economic stability. I don't understand what that means.
Through renewed localization strategies, especially around food production and energy usage. It's a UK thing, so that's why they know, and it was made in 2005, so that's why they had no idea that this would be related to trans people now.
Oh, right, and this is probably why everyone in England is a TERF, because they're like, we already, I live in one of those towns, they
Yeah.
suck.
It was
They
20
trans my whole town.
That's what they all, that's why J.K. Rowling is against that. She lives in a
Yeah, transition town. What is this? Ridgewood. Yeah. So it sounds like essentially what they're doing is to eliminate like negative impacts of climate effects. They're trying to grow food locally and make stuff locally, so they don't have to import it because that's like bad for the environment.
Okay, so this genius idea is just a farm that people live on.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what British
it's-
people just did it again.
It's a town where you sometimes plant things. permaculture is kind of a thing about it. I don't know what that means. Probably just like agriculture that's always there.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
I know the roots of words.
Well, I like this. By September 2013, there were 1,130 groups registered. By May 2024, there were 992 groups registered.
Wow.
They're falling off.
Yeah, damn.
No one's fucking gives a shit anymore.
I genuinely don't hope, but I like the idea that because aren't British people TERFs in general? Like
they're one of the turf.
They don't support the movement.
Higher than average for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, especially for how cool British people are about gay people, and generally, like British people are less racist.
No.
That's
Then the
not
US
true at all.
Not true.
That's not true.
Not true.
I don't know. They had an Indian.
One might say their entire history is based on just being racist.
Well, they're racist like
Well, so is
systematically,
every
but they ended slavery
country.
before us, and they
That's
integrated
true.
people way sooner, and they didn't have like the KKK for British people.
Well, that's just because it's just way more white people there.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
They have a king.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, British people are so not racist. Well, I guess this is racist, but it's like they've taken curry and
Oh yeah.
and all that stuff, and then be like, oh, it's the food of our country. And
I
it's
looked
like,
up
you stole it.
recently. I don't know. It was a video, I think, of like British, like best British food or something. Oh, you know what it was? I was doing an article for work about like how disgusting British food looks.
Oh yeah.
And then I found like best British foods, and it was all Indian food.
That's why they had to do this. Is it's actually a secret conservative movement to be like, we need to get our foods locally, like the old days.
Yeah.
No more curry, no more spice.
All of our bad food.
I found a fun section in this article, Transition U.S. So in the United States, transition initiatives have started in many communities. And the vision is that every community in the United States will engage its collective creativity to unleash an extraordinary and historic transition future beyond fossil fuels. But I like this. It says a large number of state sites have been set up using the Ning social networking platform. These state
I don't
sites,
believe that.
That's-
under the umbrella of a
British made
national,
ever.
under the umbrella of a national Ning site, were used to help facilitate, network, inform, and monitor. That's how you know this is from like 2005.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the fuck that
I love
is.
the idea that that is just British Twitter is Ning.
That's like, I'm holding my mouse over it. It was co-founded by Mark Andreessen, which if you know him, he's the guy whose head looks like a fucking egg.
Oh yeah,
That's
that
the
rich
UC.
guy.
It's every British.
You know, you got to imagine that the transition U.S. was like the first thing that
Yeah.
Doge got rid of.
It launched
Wait,
in,
can you-
wow.
Can you
Number
hover over
one.
seconds?
Oh yeah, so you can hover, you can also hover.
You can hover, don't
scroll,
click.
Scroll down.
Oh yeah, the windows.
Scroll down to Transition US,
Did I pass it?
maybe. You can also control F.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, also for the background so this is the first episode that we're having the live screening up of the Wikipedia articles, but also Neill is a Mac user.
Yeah. So they can just see that I don't.
Yeah, well we have Matt's going too, so we'll probably
Apparently
use
on a
Matt's.
Mac you have like a different button for clicking. The space bar does the opposite thing.
But
It's
yeah,
very
this
strange.
Ning's social platform was launched in 2005, and there was 90,000 websites running on the platform. It sounds like it's like almost like a Squarespace or something, where it runs websites on top of a
Yeah, it's like Wix
thing.
or
It's
something.
like a blog. Yeah, it's like Wix.
I saw something that I thought was interesting.
Oh yeah.
It just said like different versions of it, and then it said Carefree Town at the bottom,
Ooh.
or Carefree City, or no, Car Free. I'm an idiot.
Carefree City is
I
like
got
We
so
don't give a
excited.
fuck.
I got so
This is the opposite
excited.
transition. We got some badass.
A town of debauchery.
Oh.
But that just
Carefree City is the British lazy town.
Wait, this is really fucking dumb. In popular culture, transition towns have been featured in the plotline of the long-running BBC Radio 4 series, The Archers. This is an example of mainstream media attention the movement received a few years after being founded. So, like, they're fucking... British people are really just making shit up around this. Like, art and stuff, I don't know. They've made films about it. They have In Transition 1.0.
There was an episode of The In-Betweeners about it.
Really?
No.
Yeah, there's an episode of Skins about it. They're all in a transition town and they learn to fuck locally.
Or that's like when they have like there's a rival group comes in there from a transition.
And they're like,
town.
oh, you're doing coke from outside of the UK?
I love that show. It's like the most European British show I've seen. It just feels like a totally different. Like British Office feels like American-y kind of. A lot of
Yeah.
British shows feel like, okay, I get this, and then there are certain things in the in-betweeners where you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
forget what exactly, but It just feels. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels a little more European.
I haven't seen it, Matt. You have to comment here.
Oh, the in-between... Are you referring to the in-betweeners or skins?
In-betweeners.
In-betweeners, yeah. I don't know, it felt like very British in a way that some of the other British sitcoms feel a little more universal, I guess.
Yeah, like maybe they're from the north or something.
I think it was because I was learning, like, how their schools work, and it's, like, a bunch of nonsense, right?
Yeah, because he's like, it starts with him being like, what's their version of private school? Or it's like, they call public school something else.
I think they, like, call public school private school, and then they call private school something else.
Yeah, it's called, like,
Academy? Or?
It's called, like, council school or something.
Oh, yeah,
like
council
that.
school,
That,
yeah.
I'm thinking of council house is what they call, like, a project.
Maybe.
But, yeah, it's like, here I am from my fancy public school, and now here I am in the, whatever it was,
This loser private school where everyone wears uniforms and also... Then you fancy
Well, it's one of those things where you learn that Harry Potter's version of school is like weird, and you thought it was weird because they're wizards, but it's also weird because it's just that's how British school kind of works.
Yeah, which I would love boarding school. I think I would have loved it.
Oh yeah, I would have fucked so much at boarding school if it was anything like college.
I was more thinking of just being away from.
I think if I was at boarding school, I would have been more socially successful, but I don't know why. That's probably just in my head.
Me too.
I disagree. I don't think I would have been set up for that at all.
I think it would have been great. Did you, when you went to college, did you have a hard time like making friends for the first time?
No.
Yeah, man, I was pretty bad.
But I was developed at that point.
I guess you're saying you'd be so early that you would. Yeah, that's a good.
I mean, I couldn't have gone to boarding school when I was 11 like Harry Potter did. I mean,
yeah, that's crazy.
That would have been awesome. I would have loved that. I mean, I have a great family, but I would have loved that.
Okay, Matt, you want to hit the next random article?
Yeah, sure. I got one. We got Leaving Poppy.
How do you spell Poppy?
Poppy. Leaving Poppy is a 2006 young adult thriller / horror novel by Kate Cann.
This woman on the cover is pretty attractive if she's...
Jesus, shut the fuck up. It won the 2008 Angus Book Award and was shortlisted for the 2007 Book Trust Teenage Prize.
This woman, never mind. This is also a publication place, also the UK.
I want to know what this is about.
This is the most British. They heard that Neil's Irish and the British are trying to conquer
Yeah, they're trying to make me uncomfortable.
The story starts with a girl, the main protagonist, quote-unquote Amber, arriving at a house on Merrill Road. She's unsure that it's the right house, and many others she tried weren't right. This girl's an idiot. After entering the house, she begins to think back about her mother and half-sister Poppy. She thinks back to various previous events such as Amber's birthday, which Poppy ruined. Amber had told her mother that she was going on holiday, but she found the house on a flat-sharing website, intending to stay there, telling her mother later by phone. Poppy is obviously a disturbed and emotionally unstable child from the beginning. She, quote, cries all the time, ... refusing to eat. Amber saw herself moving as abandoning them.
Wow, cool, Amber.
Look at this fucking wall of text. They just copied, they really go through the whole thing.
Now, hold on. The book is in 3 parts. There's a huge description for part 1. Yeah. There's a tiny one for part 2, and then there's nothing for part 3.
They clearly gave up.
Someone was like, what am I doing here?
This feels like kind of a Lifetime movie, or maybe Hallmark movie, but just put in book form. Like those movies about the daughter's pregnant, or there's something in a perfect town.
Yeah, I watched a couple of those in health class in high school. We watched one where a girl got AIDS.
Also, guys, if you
that's not.
Well, and then at the end, the resolution was she's like, I'm gonna marry this virgin guy.
What?
Well, yeah, she was like, I'm gonna start dating the virgin guy, so this never happens again.
I think you're just thinking Forrest Gump. Because does not happen Forrest Gump.
He is sex. Well, I guess she takes virginity in college.
But she has AIDS.
Yeah, but she has sex with him before she has AIDS. And she low-key assaults him.
But she marries him then.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, Forrest isn't the brightest guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, Amber is of drinking age because it notices she's drunk.
Yeah, well, she only has to be 18 if she's British.
Also in England, if you order food at a pub, you can drink if you're 15.
Oh, yeah. Damn. Never mind.
Oh, you're just trying to wow yourself that you're not a pedophile?
Yeah.
After Kaz's meal, Kaz and Rory have a play fight with one of the old cushions. In the scuffle, it's torn apart, and everyone recoils in horror. Fingers of hair poke out the pillow, melted together with pins. Inside, there are 3 small teeth from a child. Amber hears that Kaz has seen and heard exactly what she had seen and heard, but she says nothing. It's very confusing, and there's a lot of weird stuff going on.
I don't want to read this. It's hurting my head.
Yeah, if you look at her other books, they're pretty fun titles.
Can you read some of those for us?
Yeah.
Where do you see those?
First one, I clicked on the author's Wikipedia. Am I not supposed to go?
Yeah, you're not supposed to go to the articles.
Oh, I shit on your premise. Who cares?
Okay.
My premise.
Caught in the act, too hot to handle, breaking up, real creative there.
Wow,
Shop
super.
dead, okay. Text game, and then after leaving Poppy is leader of the pack, and then witch crag. Don't know what the hell.
Witchcraft.
I like the first two being like fucking sick, and then after that she's like, I'm gonna write about British people.
Wait, she has a whole beach series, and then the titles are different. So they say California Holiday, or How the World's Worst Summer Job Gave Me a Great New Life. What the
You
fuck?
should have gone with California Holiday.
Wow, this is a
Also,
very...
what does she know about California?
Yeah, what are
She
you
went
talking-
on holiday there.
Oh yeah, she could have just gone on vacation. Yeah. All right, so I'm sorry, I should stay.
No, it's okay.
No, it's fine.
Oh, we
whatever.
toasted this article.
Just
anyways.
don't do it again.
Fine.
Okay, the next one, I'll hit random article. Punta Volgrande. That's aka my Starbucks order, right? Okay, the Punta Volgrande, please. Punta Volgrande is a mountain of the Lepontine Alps between the border of Switzerland and Italy. The west side belongs to the Swiss canton of the Valais, and the east side belongs to the Italian region of Piedmont. The closest locality is Gondo on the south side.
And that's the article, folks.
Elevation, 9,373 feet, which is pretty fucking high.
Wow, not even a real picture of the mountain. You know,
There's a red triangle there in case there is a mountain
There's
there.
a mountain there.
Well, the peak is called Monte Leone, which is, does have a picture if you hover over that. So I think that's the main peak. I think the mountain is less interesting than the peak. But it's really fucking high.
Well, I don't know what Parent Peak really means.
9,000 feet. I think the tallest mountain in the U.S. is like 11,000 feet in California. And the tallest one east of the Mississippi is only like 6,500 feet.
Yeah, we don't have good mountains on the East Coast. West Coast is where it gets kind of interesting.
True.
I really like, I don't know, there's nothing to say about, but I think it's interesting that Italy wasn't like a country for a long time. Because
Oh, yeah.
there were like, well, there were, you know, a million different states, but their main thing was that they were conquered by the Austrians, like over and over again. Which
Yep.
you don't think of them even being close to each other, really, but it's just fascinating to me that, like, Italians are being held down by the Austrians. It's
Well,
like the most pathetic.
Who's the woman? Is it Maria?
Well, it's the classic dynamic of Arnold Schwarzenegger overpowering Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Oh my god, twins make so much sense then. Their dad was just a guy who lived on this,
Yeah.
on this
Yeah.
mountain.
It actually makes a lot of sense if you go into the 23andMe
Yeah.
shit.
I think who's the Queen of Austria for a long time? This woman named like Maria something.
Well, Marie Antoinette was Austrian.
No, something. There's like an old lady, and she essentially married her kids off strategically, and
Yeah.
and that's how the Habsburg Empire formed, where she was like super strategic at marrying off her kids to get married to other people, and then they would diplomatically like take that region under their empire.
Yeah, well, that's what Queen Victoria did. Like, she was
Yeah.
called like the grandmother of Europe because all of her kids just married into different things, and
But-
they all have. Is it called? They all have.
Hemophilia.
Yeah, they all have hemophilia. I was gonna say hemophilia, which is a different type of.
I'm looking up this woman. I forget her name.
Yeah, they all love blood.
Mhm.
Yeah, Maria Theresa. That's what is that what I'm thinking of? Her kid was Marie Antoinette. I don't know. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Maria Theresa is what I'm thinking of.
Mm.
Maria Theresa's kid was Marie Antoinette. That's a great example of her like selling off her like 14-year-old daughter to these
Yeah.
weird French fucks. But essentially, she like conquered the Austro-Hungarian Empire and all that shit formed because this one lady in the 1700s sold off her kids.
just turned them out.
Yeah.
That makes me think of Frederick the Great, who is not Austrian, but Prussian, I guess.
Yeah, he's Prussian.
So Frederick the Great is like the one that the Nazis hold up as like, he is the guy, like he's the one that we should all aspire to be. And then after his death, it was sort of known that he was gay when he was alive, and then they found a letter that he wrote to like his, you know, squire or whatever that said, my hemorrhoids ache for your cock between my ass. And then they can't say on the Wikipedia page, like, so, like they can't like put a picture, but
It was just a joke.
but it says like, this is considered by some to be substantial evidence of homosexual activity.
Look, you know how you text your guy friends in the chat that you're gay and you want their cocks kind of as a goof?
I mean,
We all do that.
Yeah,
I
no.
do that.
Like that's actually a very good argument against that being solid proof.
True. If people looked at text between me and a couple of my friends.
Yeah, in the future,
sure.
they're going to think that every single guy was gay,
Yeah.
and that we were all having sex with our friends.
My dad
constantly.
sent me a picture of him. They're in Florida right now, and he sent me a picture of him at the airport with 2 beers, like going like this, like.
Yeah.
And
This was
it's like-
seen by some as proof that Neill and his dad had a gay relationship.
I want to hover over Gondo. Nothing there.
Wishbergen.
Piedmont.
Yeah, whatever. Just get another article.
Yeah. Neil, it's your turn.
Get something. Random art.
Do something.
A+D Museum. This is in LA. It is a museum of
Cool.
architecture designed, located in downtown Los Angeles, blah, blah, blah. Designer and educator Natasha Sandmeyer serves as, okay, I don't care. I mean, do I have to, I just...
You can read whatever you want.
Yeah, do. I mean, yeah.
The Ass plus Dick Museum.
Is that what it is?
No, it's
Oh,
architecture and design.
Well, because they have that. There's like Museum of Sex. I wouldn't be surprised at all. It's art and design.
Yeah, there it is.
I would actually like to go to this.
Wow, I like how it's founded by this guy named Stephen Canner, and then you hover over him, and his Wikipedia page just says that he co-founded the A+D Museum.
That's it.
That's it. And Bernard Zimmerman.
I mean, fair enough. That's an accomplishment. I don't know.
You see, Bernard Zimmerman was an actual guy. Yeah, I mean, I guess founding a museum's a compliment, but it's just like weird that there's a loop.
Bernard Zimmerman sounds like a 70s serial killer.
Yeah, and also it sounds like what Bob Dylan's real name could have been.
Oh, because it is, right?
It is Robert Zimmerman.
Yeah. I like that.
Bernard's a murderer name. If your name is Bernard, you might murder.
I like
Yeah,
this,
you hear about
painting.
that, Bernie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, his wife killed herself, and no one ever talks about it. Or no, that's not true. I'm thinking of the guy who played Bernie Sanders on Succession. You know, like
Oh, yeah.
You talking about in the show Succession or
Yes.
the actor?
like he's like.
Oh.
I love that guy. The actor's
And
awesome, actually.
The Succession character has successfully.
No, but
Well, I think it's based off Joe Biden's wife died in a car accident. Like, really early.
Yeah, but people talk about that all the time.
Yeah,
well,
'cause
Bernie,
it sucks.
his wife, I was really surprised when I read about it that they didn't use it to slander him at all. Like, his wife was president of a college, and she did some scandal thing that, like, she had to resign as president, and she, she fucked up. I forget what it was, but no one touched it.
We can't mention that here because it's actually a leftist.
Me too, yeah. I
We're
don't
a
know
leftist
why I'm trying
podcast,
to bring
actually.
any darkness to the one guy that I like.
Yeah. It's on Wilshire Boulevard, so it's kind of like right there, downtown LA.
I live pretty close to this place.
Displaced by the extension of the Metro Purple Line, it returned to downtown. Oh, now it's fucked. It's in downtown Los Angeles in a former warehouse in the Arts District in summer of 2015, so it's over. Downtown Los Angeles is kind of a wasteland.
I was just walking around LA on maps to look at where
on maps?
Yeah.
On maps, not in real life.
You don't do that? Like
I do
walk around
that, but
Street
I
View?
don't call it walk. Oh, on Street View, you're going on Street View and you're hitting house down.
Yeah, I'm walking around.
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna take a walk into Paris today.
I
God,
call
that
maps,
is so
but no.
fucking sad. I just realized I like to do that because I'm bad at walking around. But I went there. I used to live on Sunset Boulevard in LA, as opposed to like Sunset Boulevard, Minnesota.
Is there one?
No. Or maybe. But I was there and I remembered when I lived there, I fell in the shower and I was in a wheelchair for like 2 months. So I would wheel around the streets of, not too close to this place actually, but
Oh,
I'm just looking at
well.
that.
They're
right
like,
now.
the design of that wheelchair.
Oh
We
my-
must have it for
Yeah,
our
it got taken
museum.
from me because it was made for
Alright, enough of that.
Yeah, look how the picture is just a bunch of stuff.
Have you guys tried to do like 6 degrees of separation on this pod? But I guess you guys.
That's
you
what
guys
the
were-
yeah, basis, I think,
Wikipedia
is-
game where you click the links and try to find
Yeah,
out
like one time I was on the Elmo Wikipedia page and my friend was like, just for reading, and my friend was like, see if you can get to. Well,
Don't
because
fucking worry about it.
because Elmo's puppeteer turned out to be like a horrible person.
Yes, yeah, that's what I thought you were probably looking at.
Kevin
actually.
Clash. My friend was like, see if you can get to the Rape of Nanking from Elmo, and
Yeah,
I did it.
You
in
can
less
do it
than
in like
6.
very few
Yeah, it
moves.
was
It's a
fun.
good little
Well,
game.
classic one is Hitler. classic one is find Hitler, and that's kind of the basis because what you're really supposed to do is you're supposed to hit random article and see if you can get to Hitler within 6.
Oh, really?
But then I think maybe that was like the original kernel.
Well, the first thing I ever did was I was trying to bother my friends, and I hit the random article button, and I got the page for Luigi from Mario, which was just a great page.
Yeah.
You know, you can imagine, and I kind of just read the whole thing to them. It was really great.
Well, I feel like Hitler is a little bit of a cheat in terms of 6 degrees of separation because you can anything.
Well, that's the point.
On Wikipedia, yeah, it just makes it easier. I like going from really niche to really niche.
All you have to do is find the United States, then World War II.
Right.
World War II.
Yeah, sure. Matt, you want to hit the article?
Yeah, let's do it. It's time. Oh, we got Jörg Goetz, also spelled Jörg Goetz.
How do you spell
You're not gonna have to look at it. Is a former Swiss slalom canoeist who competed from the mid 1970s to the mid 1980s. He won a silver medal in the K1 team event at the 1981 ICF Canoe Slalom World Championships in Bala.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right.
it? Wait, so we did what? Bobsledding?
No, canoeing. Slalom canoeing.
What's that?
You canoe down thing and you go through like the
Oh, cool.
gates.
Yeah, it's like whitewater rafting canoe.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. I tried to do that once and I got fucked. I flipped a canoe with my dad who went through rapids. And it was me and my dad and my uncle. And I was like 13, so I
Where
thought
was
it was
this?
Pennsylvania, like in a river. And
True.
I thought it was funny. And I was kind of laughing. And then I looked over at my uncle who was like 60 at the time. And he was like barely keeping his head above water. And then... and then my dad, and then afterwards I was like, oh, my uncle could have died.
Yeah.
You know, canoe accident with me there.
Have you seen freestyle canoe?
No.
That's really
No,
fun.
it's pretty cool.
You seen it?
I've seen a video of
Yeah.
that.
It's like you do canoeing to music, and it's basically like dancing with.
You do like breakdancing.
It's
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
And there's a really good video of a guy, and they wear they kind of dress like cater waiters. Like you wear like a
Oh, true.
like a nice button-down shirt and a black vest, and then like it's an old man. The great video, it goes like he would like to thank his daughter Corinne for all of the support and for putting up with all the annoying practice, and all the nice like old people go like, oh, that's great. And then he does it to the song Lady in Red, which is a good song.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
So this guy Jörg could do that probably?
Probably. Or I don't know, I think freestyle canoe takes a lot of grace and
Jörg is a character of pure power.
Yeah.
You know? He lacks the
Yeah, with a name like
grace and
Jörg,
finesse.
there's no guy named Jörg is finesse. He's only pounding. He's not fingering during sex. He's going in normal style.
Oh, this is his own website. Wow.
Yeah, I don't think you have anybody those.
Is he open for bookings? Can I get him?
Yeah.
I think he is dead.
Wait, really?
It doesn't say. Man, Wikipedia, you're supposed to at least
Well,
know.
a lot of these sports guys, they create an article and then no one ever looks at it ever again.
Yeah, you ever
Until
had that
now.
happen when you meet someone and then you look them up and they have clearly written their own Wikipedia article?
I'm gonna do that
Yeah,
in
me
about
too.
10 years. If I get any minor fame, I'm gonna do it.
Seems harder and harder to get a Wikipedia page these days.
I think they're getting stringent with it. I think
Yeah.
at one point it was very easy to just.
They
make
also
one.
they'll add things on the top of the page that says like this is like maybe not deserving of an article. Or
Really?
like, or there's not enough sources, or like we don't know if this is notable enough for an article.
That
And
is
a lot
so
of times it's like,
sad.
yeah.
I hope we find one like that.
We had one like that.
We often
a
do.
couple times. We had a record.
We get a lot of like shitty athlete pages like this, or like
There's a picture of
villages
Jörg.
in Russia where 3 people live.
Yeah, there was not a picture of your.
No, you're.
But we can all picture what Jörg looks like right
Yeah.
now. We know what he looks like.
Damn,
He looks like Nico Bellic from GTA 4. Even though he's Swiss, he just has a Russian ass name.
I accidentally went back to the old.
Okay, I'm gonna hit random article.
Okay.
That's
Oh, David McNabb, footballer. This is such a funny article. David McNabb, question mark to question mark.
For birth and death.
For birth and death, they're both, we don't know.
He played 158 matches for Fulham, and they have no idea what happened to this guy.
And 169 matches in all competitions. Oh, he was from he played from 1925 to 1930, and then after which he apparently fell off the fucking map.
Jesus.
This guy, you know what actually probably happened? This guy died in like the bombing of London.
Yeah.
Like 1,000,000%.
Oh my god, you're right. He probably just went to World War II.
He-
Or wait, when did he play to?
He died.
Yeah.
He stopped playing in the 30s, so.
Well, I don't think he was in World War II, but the bombing of London, I forget what it's called, the Battle of London, whatever it is.
The Blitz.
The Blitz. They were just murdering indiscriminately wherever they could. It was
Yeah.
like what they're doing in Palestine, but to the UK.
And then
Yes, it was better.
And then the king, or the former king, because I watched The Crown, was like a Nazi sympathizer, and then he wrote to Hitler, and he was like, he said like, if you continue bombing, my subjects will soon be ready for peace. So he just told them to keep doing it.
Yeah, Kaming, notoriously not a good guy. I got really excited because this is David McNabb, footballer. I thought it was Donovan McNabb, NFL quarterback for the Eagles.
Yeah, that would have been a real page.
That would have been so
I'm sure
cool.
there's
It's
information.
his son
in it.
that's smuggled to America.
But this guy, I imagine playing like soccer in the 1920s must have been weird because we know again 15 years later like World War II happened, but like you were essentially goofing off and then the world ended around you. Like you went from having so much fun to dying in the Blitz.
Hey, that's just how it goes sometimes.
He also he could have fought in World War One though. I don't know. He seems maybe a little too old to fight in World War One. Yeah, you're getting a little ad, huh?
I was gonna put on Tetris on the laptop just because I know they can see my screen.
This isn't engaging enough.
You got to start putting like some Subway Surf.
Well, just them knowing that anyone can read my screen, I want to do whatever, just fuck around.
Just bring up a picture of a naked lady.
Okay.
Hey, well, don't do that because it's going on YouTube, but I don't really want to edit it that well.
Can I just type in naked?
No.
Alright.
Don't do it.
Do not put the word naked on the screen.
I don't want to actually edit. I don't edit the videos. I don't really edit the videos as hard as we edit the audio.
That's true. Alright, I'll do one.
Yes.
Is it me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I got Kalung. This seems good. Calung. This is a type of Indonesian bamboo xylophone.
Oh hell yeah. Okay, this is good.
Consists of multiple bamboo tubes which are stuck to the base to produce it said woody sound. Okay, well that's a little obvious.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, you hit the
Sounds
wood
like
and
wood.
it sounds like wood.
They really worked on that one. In Balinese, gamelan? Gamelan gong. Okay, I'm not gonna try it.
I like this. On November 18th, 2010, UNESCO officially recognized the Indonesian angklung, which includes a musical instrument of kalung, as a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity.
Jesus Christ.
They should not. Okay, I think
A masterpiece.
I like
It's a bunch of wood.
I like that this has been recognized on a global scale, but like it's not even Indonesian people saying it. It's this weird other group. They're encouraging
it's like the Illuminati musical.
Yeah. But like I don't think anything's a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity.
Wow, I like the art of it though. Look at that one sketch.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow. That would hang at my house.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then there's just some guy in Germany playing it to the left.
An illustration of a Sudanese baddie playing a kalung.
Do you see this little thing that he has next to him? He's got like some sort of, I don't know, hair?
Yeah, it's like an apple with a worm in it.
You can click on pictures and zoom in.
Oh, I'm doing it, yeah.
It's a pear. Or no, it's a gourd probably. Maybe it's a drinking gourd.
Oh, because it probably takes a lot of energy to play the kalung.
That's kind of cool. It's strung to a tree, which I feel like is really cool.
That is cool. Oh, these were in Documentary Now. There's the Talking Heads episode where they do Stop Making Sense.
Oh, yeah.
The fake David Byrne, Fred Armisen.
Wait, they play this?
They say I got really into, what country is this from?
Indonesian.
But they say,
Java, Badoy, Banyumas, Bali.
I think so.
Bali.
Yeah, one of them. Balinese. There's a clip of Bill Hader being like, the Balinese stuff. I just didn't know. I don't know about that. And it's really funny, but it's just them because he has a bunch of people dressed like this. The first photo.
Oh yeah.
They bring a bunch of
I don't. That makes me. It was credit. I don't like that we're like the second comedians to ever riff on this specific Balinese instrument. Yeah.
All right, Matt, you do another one then.
Wait, no. I was gonna see if we can find I feel like we did this before, but I want to find a track of the.
Get it playing, bro. Get this groove.
Sometimes the articles have a little sound thing.
Yeah, I can't believe it's on a musical instrument.
Here's a demo sound. We'll see if it works on our mics. I don't know.
Let's get that woody sound.
I have to turn on my fucking volume.
Just the Woody Woodpecker laugh. Okay, hell yeah.
I love this.
The guy playing it looks like he doesn't give a fuck at all. He's so nonchalant.
Well, I'm sure it's like a meditative thing where you just have to look like you don't give a shit.
Alright.
I'm into this.
So I wanted, yeah.
Well, the last thing I'll say about this, I think it's funny that between like xylophones and this and like bell kits and all this stuff. Every single culture on Earth, or like a lot of cultures on Earth, independently, were like, what if we put a bunch of stuff in a line and then hit it with mallets?
Well, I think it's all inspired by the common myth of the skeleton playing his own ribs as a xylophone.
Yeah.
Every culture comes up with that, and then they make an instrument to reflect that.
Yeah. This really looks like ribs. It looks like.
Looks awesome.
All right, I hit the random button. I got the RAF Methwold.
What?
RAF Meth WOLD.
Wow, math.
The Royal Air Force Methwold,
British people.
or
Why the
more
fuck are
simply,
we all getting British?
RAF Methwold is a former Royal Air Force station located 2.1 miles or 3.4 kilometers northeast of Feltwell, Norfolk, and 10.9 miles or 17.5 kilometers northwest of Thetford, Norfolk, England.
You guys have definitely watched Band of Brothers.
Nope.
No, I know that Jimmy Fallon and David Schwimmer's in it.
No, yeah. There was a guy, we were talking about it, because one time I just sang the Band of Brothers theme song on stage. It's really long.
Nice.
And there's like a really funny guy in it. Like, there's the funny guy of the platoon. And my friend and I basically, I think we're right, that Jimmy Fallon, like, his peak bowl, because this was like 2000 when he was getting into movies, his people were definitely like, he has to be in like a regular part of the platoon and he's gonna be the funny guy.
Yeah.
And then they just put him in the middle of one episode to be like, but anyway, there's a really good sequel series that has to do with Royal Air Force bombers.
Yeah, I feel like the squadron of the RAF Methwold, they got the whole team on the Wikipedia page here. There's a couple funny guys and there's a couple jokes. In the bottom, if you click on the picture, in the bottom right, that guy looks like the goofy guy of the group.
Bottom right. Wait.
Well, you can see that everyone is sitting at like a
The guy who's
noticeable
sitting on the
distance
right.
from him. Like everyone else is kind of huddled together like they're friends.
He's
kind
got a cool grin
kind of on
face.
his own.
Oh, the one who looks like, he
like
Yeah,
little
he
Pee
looks
Herman
silly.
looking
he's
guy.
secretly a frog that got turned into a human.
Yeah. There's women, or is that just a womanly man?
Let me see.
The guy above.
It's just a beautiful
Yeah.
man.
That's a beautiful man. That's like a strong jaw. I like that. Yeah.
The middle one?
Right above him, I guess. Like line of sight. It's third from the right on the top row.
Oh yeah, that looks like Conan O'Brien.
Ooh, Methwold on a target dossier of a German Luftwaffe.
Yeah, that's cool.
They were about to take it out.
Yeah. Why is it called Methwold?
Well,
I mean,
that
this
made
is way
me think.
before meth,
That just
but-
makes you think about how the Nazis were all taking actual meth during World War II.
Mm.
It's like a known thing. Like that's how they were so good at like blitzkrieg because they were all just fucking methed out.
True.
So this makes you think maybe they named it this because they thought maybe some of them would see it and go, England's actually cool. Why would we find they have a whole meth world over there?
It seems messed up that the country that did a bunch of meth got angry at another group of people with really bad teeth.
Yeah.
It seems, they should have been able to relate to each other on that level.
That's like the coolest thing ever. That is kind of how they did so well in the beginning of World War II. Was they were all just on meth, and then they started to feel the effects later, so then
Yeah.
they just sucked.
Like any experience doing meth, it started out awesome.
Vickers Wellington bombers. I was hoping to God that was the name of them.
Yeah, I thought that was Vickers. Yeah. Vickers Wellington.
It looks like it's no longer an operational airfield. It looks like it's mostly agriculture, and there's a Marlowe Foods supermarket there as well.
Wait, no, this is crazy. It's used for packaging of corn, QUORN.
It's a brand of meat substitute products.
Ew, look at it.
It looks so
Jesus
gross.
Christ.
It looks like somebody came inside a chicken cordon bleu.
Ew. It looks like a fried drum cymbal.
True, it does. That sounds actually kind of more delicious than
Yeah.
this is.
This is kind of a problem because I'm not thinking of anything funny when I see this, but I just keep seeing all random facts that I know that are not gonna be funny if I say it.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, I think it's like a mix of humor and history.
Well, just like Mildenhall is a Shins song. The guy who was the lead singer of the Shins was stationed with his dad at Mildenhall for a while.
Oh wow!
It's like
So
fun
this
for me.
could have been there could have been a Shin song that was called
Called
Methwold.
Methwold, yeah.
Yeah.
Should I go? Is it me?
It's Tom.
Oh yeah.
It's Tommy time.
God, I hate
Oh. Ceratosaurus
Whoa.
is a genus of mammals in the family Saurasidae.
Just say, shrews. Okay.
It is one of the three genera of African shrews, which in turn are one of the three living subfamilies of shrews. Species in the genus Surosex are called African mole shrews because of the similarity to moles, to which they are not closely related.
That's insane.
Yeah, they're similar to moles, but they are not related.
I'm clicking on
at
this
all.
picture. This is a good picture article. They do look like moles.
Why wouldn't they just put a picture of a living one? Why do they have to put a dead one next to a paint thing?
Also, what year is that? The year up top? What? I can't tell.
National blah blah blah. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't see the year.
It sounds like they're really controlling the shrew populations.
66.
Wow.
They've restricted the Mount Kenya mole shrew to Mount Kenya, which I guess makes sense.
Well, guys, I discovered this in 1906. It says Thomas 1906 on the right.
Wait, where?
On the far right, under Sordex, it has the person who discovered it or officially classified it.
Oh yeah, I saw.
But yeah, every time we get to one of these articles, if we hover over it, it's always a weird British guy.
Yeah, why it feels so British? This
Yeah.
whole thing is Wikipedia's not British.
No, we're just getting lucky. No, but I was saying all
lucky.
animal articles are like, there's a British colonist who was like, we have to capture
Yeah,
these
we have to
things.
kill it and stuff.
We have to
We need
kill
to
it.
see what happens when we kill it.
Yeah.
I collect butterflies.
Once again, nothing has happened when we kill it. It just dies.
Isn't a shrew like a name for a woman?
Yeah, if you're like a really
Taming of the
disrespectful
Shrew
guy.
is
The
something.
Taming of the Shrew, yeah.
What happens in the Taming of the Shrew?
The guy dates he basically dude takes a bet. He's like, oh, you like there's these sisters. One of them sucks. One of them's awesome.
Uh-huh.
And he's like,
Classic.
oh, bro, you want to date the one who's awesome? Okay, I'll date the one who sucks. I bet I could fix her up. And then he does.
And
Wow.
she's called a shrew.
Yeah, she's
So
the
it's
shrew.
like She's All That.
Oh, it's like that's a kind of a. I didn't know that is.
It's,
Yeah,
like, it's like She's All That, and it's also like in Jersey Shore whenever they make Vinny take a grenade.
It's a little more of Pride and Prejudice sort of system where
Yeah.
she's not like a loser. She's just like mean.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's frankly worse. I would rather date a loser than someone who's mean. Not actually. I value attractiveness very much. But
Yeah.
that's something nice to say.
But that is funny how that's the most British thing is just like I guess because that's what was the only thing like we're talking about was like who the fuck are you gonna marry? So the whole thing is like the craziest story they could come up with was what if you meet a girl to dance and you have to marry her and she's ugly? That was the most intense trauma.
I mean, it was a comedy. It was the funniest thing they'd ever heard of, and I think that principle stands.
Well, my thing is, I think when everyone dies at like 50, who you marry, and you marry someone at like you're 21 and she's like 16 because it's the old time, it does matter a lot because it's like, well, over half your life.
Still kind of matters.
What?
Still kind of matters.
No, it matters. I'm saying that's all of it. Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. Like
You're fucking toast, man.
also when you were back then, I think everyone was cheating on each other all the time because it was just we just married for money because our parents told us to. This is not.
That's what I thought. What's the movie that fucking the Stanley Kubrick made?
Oh well, I can't think of any of those.
Lolita?
No.
Eyes Wide Shut.
No, it's the one about British people.
Oh,
Barry
Barry
Lyndon.
Lyndon.
Barry Lyndon.
Love
He's
that
Scottish.
movie.
But that's Barry Lyndon.
That's an Iron Man.
I feel like iron. I feel like it's super
All the
accurate.
same, right?
You know how like his cousin like is weirdly sexual to him at the beginning of the movie? I feel like not the cousin thing specifically, but like everyone was fucking before marriage.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just like doing it on the low.
Yeah.
I thought that
they're
was-
yeah, I
so
mean,
privileged.
It's the same as always.
Yeah.
Well, we're the generation. We're not.
That's what these shrews are doing.
Speak
These
for
shrews
yourself,
are-
pal.
these shrews
I'm
are
not
fucking-
speaking for my generation, not for me.
Dude, you're the voice of the generation, Neill.
Alright,
You gotta
guys, none of us are having sex.
Guys,
kind
we
of-
have to put a stop to this.
There's a bunch of. I feel like that's what incels online do, where they're like, "I'm the voice of my generation and I don't fuck."
Yeah, that probably all those surveys that say Gen Z doesn't have sex is probably just
Yeah,
one guy is really
I
loud.
can't fill out a survey. I'm too busy fucking all the time.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm
You
so
have time to
tired.
fill out online surveys? Come on.
Okay, Neil, I think it's back to you.
I'm going. This feels wrong. It's just a bad one.
But it feels
rig
so right.
category. In category theory, a rig category, also known as, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, or a two rig, is a category equipped with two
Monoidals?
monoidal structures, one distributing over the. Oh, I didn't know one distributes
This is-
over the other. Fuck.
One doms
Yo,
the other
wait.
one.
Yo, this is actually really cool, guys.
Wait, are you the I'm trying. Is there a name for what the one on the top is?
What?
Never mind. I wanted to be like, are you the top monoidal or the bottom
Yeah.
monoidal? Which category are you? Was this is some dumb math shit that
Yeah,
I
it's
hate.
really interesting because sometimes for work I have to look up like things that I truly do not know about, and sometimes you can get into an area of Wikipedia where nothing will make sense. Like it
Yeah.
won't explain anything because if you're there, it assumes you kind of already have some vocabulary.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What
This is based off a 1972. The most recent source is a 1972 mathematical lecture.
A rig category is semi-strict if the two monoidal structures involved are strict. Both of its annihilators are equalities, and one of its distributors is an equality. Any rig category is equivalent to a semi-strict one.
I like this section. In the definition, it says there's a symmetric monoidal structure, there's a normal monoidal structure, there's a distributing natural, whatever, I don't know what that is.
Isomorphism.
And then there's a annihilating or absorbing natural isomorphism. There's an annihilating one.
This feels like a podcast you should do on cocaine. We're moving so fast and it's so many facts.
Well, normally we go.
I like
Normally we do a lot of cocaine before.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, we are bouncing around so much and it's all facts. It would be really fun. I mean, not that I've ever done that.
That was
No,
none of us have done that. There's an episode of Cometown, or I don't know, there's a compilation of Cometown that is them on cocaine on YouTube that I've listened
And
to.
it's not that.
No, it's not that good. It's not even a good one.
It takes away your soul.
Yeah. Yeah, rig category. What's this, the fucking 2020 election?
Come on, man. Come on.
It was rigged against Bernie in the primary.
It was rigged against Donald Trump in the
Also, can I take the charger from you there? I think,
Yeah. Wait, this
yeah,
one?
the one. Yeah. Don't unplug this.
Here, hold the laptop while I just do
Oh,
this.
yeah, running low.
That was really smooth, guys.
Yeah, it was okay.
All right, I'm gonna hit the random article button. Midway, Rapides Parish, Louisiana. Midway is an unincorporated community in Rapides Parish, Louisiana, United States.
Oh, hell yeah.
Midway is located on Louisiana Highway 112, 3.7 miles east-northeast of Forest Hill. Notable residents: Louisiana singer Jay Chevalier was reared in Midway. Reared.
They're dropping reared in a professional article. They're saying reared.
In the late 1930s and 1940s.
What does reared mean?
Just like raised.
Okay.
Like child.
There's no special.
No.
thing? Okay.
I like unincorporated community because in Louisiana in particular, that just means the fucking middle of nowhere that people happen to live in.
It's just a disgusting swamp.
It's just on a highway. It's northeast of Forest Hill, which is a village. It's like a real place. This is just nothing. I do feel like have you seen True Detective season 1?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, anytime I get anywhere in Louisiana that's like a parish, I'm like, this is where they're doing it.
Yep, and it definitely is. I mean,
this is exactly where
that whole thing. I mean, I think True Detective happens. I'm looking at the map right now. True Detective happens like near this bottom part, right?
Yeah, it's
like,
more near the coast.
Near the water. So it's like, I mean, it makes sense to me that shit is going on there because it's just like, well, we're just slowly drowning people. Like, of course, the most immoral, strange shit is gonna happen down here.
True.
It's just witchcraft and weirdness. I mean, it seems great.
That seems cool. Like I would like to visit.
Yeah.
I'm holding over Joe J. Chevalier here. I just get a little background on him. He was an American singer and songwriter from Louisiana who achieved success in several music genres since the late 1950s. He's dead. The pieces was isn't like that. He was a pioneer of rockabilly music, and he's known within Louisiana for his songs based on politics, sports, and his love for his home state. I'm assuming I can't see the word home.
That's cool. He ran for office. I broke the rules.
No, it's okay. This is an okay one. I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's really nothing here. I drove to Louisiana like a year ago because I was in between jobs and I'd never been to New Orleans.
That's
so
cool.
I drove all the way down. And Louisiana, you get to like just nothing. Like there's just like parts of it that don't have anything at all.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Was a little sad. I did last summer. Drove through a lot of the country, which I've done before. I drove from LA to New York, basically, to Boston, and I like America and stuff, but it was a thing where you kind of drive through it, and I enjoyed a lot of it, but it was like, I don't have that much pride in America because about half of it is empty. Like half of it is just fucking nothing.
I had the opposite. I had so much. Yeah, because I drove to like Arizona and Death Valley. I did from Pittsburgh to LA 3 years ago. I drove through like Death Valley and northern Arizona and New Mexico, and like we went to the Grand Canyon, Zion and stuff.
Yeah, I went to the Grand Canyon.
I like the nothing. That's the best part.
Oh, I enjoyed it, but I think it was more last summer when I was going through Ohio.
Ohio sucks.
Which I like. I was really excited to go to like Akron because I like the Black Keys. But it was just like we just didn't go through cities basically. Yeah. So a lot of it was like, everything is the same.
Yeah.
Like everything just looks the same.
Yeah, I flew out of the Akron airport in December because the Pittsburgh airport there was like a storm, so I had to fly.
I think they're pretty close to each other.
Yeah, like 3 hours.
I didn't really understand where Ohio was on the map for a long time.
But yeah, Akron's just like I also went. I had a bunch of friends that went to University of Akron from high school. It's just like literally like a strip mall of a town. That's all of Ohio. Ohio sucks. I think it's
strip
the
mall
worst
that
state.
produced LeBron James though.
Driving through Ohio, when we drove to California, the worst part of the trip was right after Pittsburgh. Driving through Ohio.
Yeah.
Even Columbus sucks.
Yeah, I did some shows in breweries out there, and they were all in small towns, and we were like, but we'll get people because, well, we didn't advertise it at all, so I don't know why we thought that, but it's like, there's nothing for like miles around, surely we'll get some people.
Word of
We
mouth
did
will
not.
spread. The whole village
Nobody
will
can.
come.
That's what my friend kept saying. He was like, no, I mean, it's like, definitely people show up because it's like word of mouth out here, and I was like, oh, cool, and then there were two people total in the brewery who were not there for the show.
Yeah.
And we drove 5 hours, and my friend was like, well, I think we were supposed to do 30 minutes each, and I was like, let's just have some beers and then hang
Nice.
out. And he was like, no, we should just give them a show. So then he said we each did 20 minutes for these. Just
Did they like it?
couple. Like, you know,
At least
they
weren't even
were
there.
cordial.
There's a good podcast in the background, yeah. I did one show in Manhattan like that, which was fun, which was a bar in Manhattan, but it was like packed, but it was like happy hour, but they were not there for comedy.
Yeah, it happens a
So
lot.
it was, yeah, but I just, whenever you do a show in Brooklyn, I feel like it's a back room of a bar and there's 20 people there and they're there for the show.
Yeah, doing it in the way of like, hey, we happen to have a corner
Yeah.
and let's do stand up there I feel really bad because they did not ask for it
Yeah.
and they shouldn't have to sit through it.
I'll say I did well on the show, but only because I went up and I went like, I'm sorry this is happening.
Yeah.
You're like trying to like go on a date or talk to your coworkers or something, and there's just a fucking guy screaming about like his penis on
I
stage.
used to do this bar in Boston that was like that. It was an open mic and no one was ever there for comedy. And it was I like going there because it was a real Boston bar, like just true drunks and like, you know, townies. And is that a derogatory? I mean, it's definitely derogatory.
Townie is a slur, yeah.
Is that really bad to say?
No, that's fine.
Okay. And I got up once and I tried to do that, like, hey, I know you don't fucking like this or whatever, but I just like went up and I said like, guys, are we drinking tonight? Like, who's drunk? And none of them turned around. They all just like slouched.
Like, I don't have a problem.
It was so sad.
That was the main open mic in Pittsburgh that everyone goes to is on Wednesdays. It's called, and there's like 50 people who go, but it's at a bar called Scarpace's, which is like
so
very
fake.
very Italian.
Yeah.
But it's literally, the mic is up front. There's a bar that wraps around and no one's there for comedy. And then all the comics, there's like 50 comics, but they're all in the back room or outside drinking and smoking because they don't care. So it's just literally the most brutal stand-up environment ever.
Yeah, it's good though. Makes
yeah.
it good. Where did you start doing stand-up?
Here,
Here.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
But you did show.
I went to Manhattan like 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, so when you first moved here, it's like 3 years ago.
We took Long Island.
Yeah, I was on Long Island.
Oh,
so
right, yeah.
So I went to Manhattan a couple times because I just like did the first open mic you got on Google, which was like West Side Comedy Club.
Awesome.
I went there like 3
there.
times. And I was like, well, this isn't good. And then I gave a look somewhere else.
It was very fun. Matt sent me the recordings from those. It was like, what do you think? Yeah. That was fine.
And they were good.
It was
normal.
not good. But like,
It was like,
it was the first time I'd ever done it.
I was
It
like, well, you're saying words that are jokes.
Well, there is a
And there's
thing
some
that
reaction.
you can kind of tell someone's third time or whatever. Like, there are some people you might say, you can never do this. You know? Like, it's just not, it's never going to be
I don't think I didn't get the definite no.
Yeah, like you can tell when someone has ideas and is surrounding something good, you know, at the very beginning. But there are some people who get up there and they clearly just have no sense of it.
I think it's this thing of, and Matt, you're
like you, that's you.
Yeah. There's 3 types of guys.
Yeah. I think it is, I can tell when somebody on stage doesn't care about comedy or watch comedy or doesn't have favorite comedians and just like, I don't know what they think they're doing, but even if your favorite comedian's like Tom Segura or Bert Kreischer, it's like, I trust you a little bit. Yeah, the best. But I trust you to do stand-up because you understand what the goal is or something.
Yeah.
Or you want to do it. I'm not saying you'll be good necessarily, but like, there's people I've seen that get up, and this doesn't happen as much in Brooklyn, but just like, I don't know what you're looking for, but like, you don't know what stand-up is.
They don't understand that it's like jokes, so they see something like Bert Kreischer where they have crazy stories, and they go like, I have crazy stories with my boys, let's do it.
That'd
and then they
be
go up
even
there,
better.
alright, so last night I had 10 fucking beers, and there was this girl, and she is hot. She does not like us. And it's like, that's not stand-up. I mean, it kind of.
That's pretty funny. It sounds like a good story. I want to hear how that ends.
But they just think it's like, I have insane things that happen in my life, and they just go up and die.
Yeah, which is,
Should I do another one?
Who hit midway? Matt?
I did.
It's my turn. Yeah. When we had Benny on afterwards, he was like, "You should have the host hit it every time."
No, the guest.
The guest.
It doesn't matter. It's random.
Well, yeah.
Why does he think?
I think he wanted.
I believe Benny said, "I think it's fun."
It's hitting the button is fun.
Oh, he just finds it satisfying. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I did hover over it because I wanted.
And that's why we can't let you. We
That's
can't
why
let you
we're-
have all the fun.
We
we
have
have-
Willis Avenue Station.
Yeah. Willis Avenue Station is a steam production plant used in Detroit's district steam heating system, which I actually know a lot about for my job, which is kind of funny. The plant is located at 50 West Willis Street near Woodward Avenue in center of city's Midtown Detroit neighborhood. Built and owned by the Detroit Edison Company, it was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1997.
I'm into this. This is cool.
Yeah, this is alright.
This is what people picture whenever they think of factory.
Yeah.
Seems like Henry Ford worked here at some point.
Oh,
He
alright.
began a
Oh,
career,
fuck.
with, that's why Neill liked it. He
No.
saw that.
Oh, yeah.
His eyes went to the big
Wait, read
section
it.
titled Henry Ford.
Yeah, where read it.
Henry Ford began his career with the Edison Illuminating Company on September 25th, 1891, assigned to this substation as a steam engineer, working the 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift. I assume it was here where he was radicalized.
Yeah.
Do you know that thing about Henry Ford establishing a town in the Amazon?
Yes,
No.
I've heard about this.
Yeah.
No.
It's awesome. It's or no, it's not awesome.
It's not-
He was a
it's
very
not
bad
great.
man, and it didn't work out. But it is funny that his like kind of ego of like everything in America is awesome. Let's do it over there. This is like the exact version of it run wild. So this was the rubber manufacturing.
Yeah.
So rubbers come from rubber plants like in rainforest. So
Yeah.
they just established. I think it was called America Town or like Rubber Town. I think
Something dumb.
yeah, it was like literally called Rubber Town, and it's like it was on the Amazon River, and it was like they just built like a real looking like 40s looking American town, and then they had like mandatory square dancing for all the workers who didn't want to be doing that, and then the whole thing was like ravaged with disease, and everyone who worked there, it was either Americans who were like really part of the program or workers who were just forced to be there and square dance and work on rubber.
That's kind of Donald Trump's America is like riddled with disease, forced to square dance.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. I support the agenda.
I mean, I support the square dancing agenda.
Yeah.
No politician's perfect.
I just like the
okay?
idea of someone in the rainforest, like straight faced, begrudgingly square dancing. I'm trying to think.
These poor native Amazonian peoples. They had no contact with humans, and then a week later they were square dancing for someone's amusement.
Yeah.
So crazy.
But yeah.
Right, here's my question. It says it was organized in 1903 and built in 1916, but Henry Ford worked here
Fordlandia.
in 1891. Oh, so before all of this, it was just a classic electric coal burning plant for Edison Illuminating Company.
Now, Thomas Edison, what do we think?
Bad.
Did he actually invent that light bulb, man?
No.
No.
Okay, that's
Thomas
your
Edison
theory.
it's kind of fucked up. Thomas Edison and Elon Musk are like absurdly similar.
Yeah.
Like it's like alarming and like annoying.
Except Edison at least did something by himself. He got started by himself. It's not like
Oh, really?
It's not like his dad. Is
Edison-
also from
Yeah, I didn't have an
South
emerald
African
mine.
emerald mine.
Yeah.
Edison, for all his faults, like had a business acumen. Like he
Yeah.
was able to make himself successful.
I remember when we learned about him, my teacher, we were like, there was a photo of him, like one of the last photos of Thomas Edison. He looks fucking nuts. And I remember, like, he just looks like crazy and kind of worn out. And then I remember my history teacher leaned over and she was like, and she's just like, it was a Catholic school, so they kind of hired like anyone. And she just leaned over and she was like, boys and girls, do you think by the end of his life, he was kind of crazy? We're all like, nah, guys. It was just funny as a history lesson.
Based on this picture alone,
Yeah.
I suppose.
I guess if you went from a world with no light bulbs and then you were related to the building of light bulbs, and then by the time you died, everyone everywhere had light bulbs and electricity, you would probably feel nuts.
Yeah, the one in the monument to him in Menlo Park, Jersey, because I'm from New Jersey, is really cool. It's just a giant fucking light bulb that they put on a big like column in the middle of town. It's awesome.
I think they should build a statue of him electrocuting that elephant to death.
Yeah. Oh, Topsy.
Oh, that's the elephant's name?
Yeah.
Well,
This is it. Edison's in New
I'm
Jersey.
10% sadder about that now.
Yeah. Edison almost established the whole entire movie industry in New Jersey, and then they fucked it up.
Yeah.
Man, this could have been Jersey Wood.
Yeah, they could have made even more movie about Italian gangsters.
I know, it would have been awesome. That was my turn?
Yeah, I don't think there else is for this. It's just factory.
Are you kidding me? Why do I keep getting math shit? This is the Wikipedia article for system.
Just
yeah,
system?
dude. I love when you get such a bland.
Oh, never mind. It's a sequence of strata in parentheses, rock layers. So this. Is
Oh wait, system.
This is like system in parentheses, stratigraphy.
Oh, nice.
Stratigraphy, huh? Okay, this is slightly better than math, maybe.
Yeah, we can talk about rocks.
Another development.
They were laid down together within the same corresponding geological period. So it's like a layer of rock that came down at a time.
So like once a month.
Once a month, God puts a new layer of rock. He repaves the driveway.
Yeah, he releases it,
and he puts little treats in there, like little dinosaur bones and stuff.
And he's a little bit mad while he's doing it.
I've had to do, like, this past 2 weeks, a lot of science articles for work, which I don't give a shit about science at all. And I learned, like, I gotta sign, like, oldest rocks. And they're all from, you know, just the Earth's crust that are chipped off. So they're just regular looking rocks. It goes like, this is from the, you know, something system. And I don't give a shit.
This rock is 1 million years old.
Well, I like this. So these segments of rock, they have like the oldest one, and it's Eonothem or Eonothem, but it's because it's the rocks from an eon ago,
Whoa, that is
which
cool.
is 4 total 500 million years or more. So there's only 4 layers, and they're over 500 million years old. So that's like that's the shit.
Which is interesting to me, but then I found one that was a rock, it was a meteorite that was like trillions older, like far older than the Earth.
Yeah.
So that's a little sad that the rocks that have worked so hard to grow here, that another guy can just come in and immediately.
Yeah, I wonder if
It's hard to get your start as a rock. The entrenched powers in the rock community.
Yeah, some rocks are
It's
so old.
really hard for a rock to get totally destroyed.
It's so sad that they don't know that they're that old, but they've done a lot in their life.
They feel young.
This is where, so it says the systems of the Phanerozoic were defined during the 19th century, beginning with the Cretaceous, so like dinosaurs, that's where that comes from, by Belgian geologist John Diomalius Deloy.
Jean Diomalius.
And the Carboniferous by William Coney-Bear, sick last name.
Awesome.
And William Phillips.
Ooh, the hover over for Carboniferous is a cool looking. It just looks like a V or something to me.
Ooh, William Coney-Bear was an English geologist, paleontologist, and clergyman. I liked that, like, back then, the town pastor was also just, like, the only guy who had ever read a book.
Yeah.
Well, it's like he was the dinosaur guy and God guy at the same time.
Dude was like, this is gonna be tough to square.
Him, if you hover over him, his picture and William Phillips' picture just look like every single person who I imagine existed in 1820.
Yeah, they all look like Lord Byron.
Yeah, they all look fucking, or like Thomas Jefferson.
Coney-Bear seems like a pretty good-looking guy. He kind of,
Is he related to Amy Coney-Bear?
Oh yeah.
Hey, Boo Boo, give me a rock basket.
I don't know who that is.
It's
Yogi Bear.
Yogi Bear.
Oh.
Hey, Boo Boo. Coney is making his army. We have to stop him.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Remember when that guy broke down?
Boo Boo, I want you to join.
Oh, yeah.
The guy who created Joseph Coney, or Coney 2012. He got too famous too fast. He had like a mental breakdown and got arrested for masturbating in the street.
It went too well. The power went to his head.
To make him famous.
Boo Boo, I think you do really well in my militant group.
I like this.
We need boys like you.
For the rock sliders, another recent development is the official division of the Proterozoic into systems, which was decided in 2004. So there's some guy 20 years ago who was like, I got a new rock thing that we're all going to follow from now on.
It's interesting to me that, because science is all about facts and stuff and the way they organize it, and then it is funny that at some point they just kind of go, no, I think I kind of had an idea, and I think everything before that was wrong.
In my opinion, this is the fact.
Yeah.
You guys see this thing at Arathems? What is this in Brooklyn? Right?
Neon
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Against.
That's how you. Never mind. I'm not gonna make that joke.
I'm just joking.
System.
All right, whatever. Let's just hit the button again.
Yeah.
It's my
System,
turn.
we got a lot out of system.
It's my turn. Division of Special Research. The Division of Special Research was a subdivision of the
sounds
U.S.
fucking-
State Department.
Sounds like a fake spy.
That's so fucking
some,
weird.
some guy gave that to his son. He's like, yes, you're the Division of Special Research.
Yeah, it's like when you get a fake wheel on a cruise ship.
Subdivision.
Subdivision of the U.S. State Department charged with preparing studies in the fields of problems.
What?
Post World War II. So yeah, like, oh yeah, you had to figure out all the problems,
You're gonna go-
son.
Yeah. You're fired. Or wait, sir, I have an idea. Send him to the field of problems.
Wow, it was made before the United States' involvement in the war.
The department was
1941.
That's cool.
secretly established in February 1941. The guy thought no one would notice, and he
I
gave his
love
son that
the
job.
idea of Hell being a place called the Field of Problems.
That's like the sixth flare. That's in Dante.
Just a bunch of-
And then they ended the Division of Special Research in 1943, so it was only around for 2 years. When it
That's
was
cool. It's
replaced-
like the Men Who Stare at Goats or X-Men or whatever.
Yeah. It was replaced by Division of Political Studies and Division of Economic Studies.
Yeah, they thought of a name for it, so they were like, we gotta get rid of this.
Yeah.
Leo Pasvolsky was chief of the division in its successions. But if you click on him, he was just a. If you hold over him, he's just a journalist.
Economist, State Department official, and special assistant to Secretary of State Cordell Hull.
He's the guy who created.
You know, at one point there were white guys named Cordell.
He's probably the foremost author of the UN Charter. So this guy,
Oh.
this pretty much caused the UN. And then Charles W. Yost was assigned. And if you isn't Yost, no, I'm thinking of the
Yosemite Sam.
No, I'm thinking of there's a place in Russia where Stalin, FDR, and Churchill met.
No, that's here.
It's something with the Y though. It starts with
Oh,
a Y.
wait. I was thinking of...
Yaren or something.
Okay, here we go. H. Julian Wadley was assigned by Hull to assist Paslovsky. He was an American economist, Soviet spy in the Department of
which
State. H. Julian Wadley.
That's
He was a
the
Soviet
most
spy.
ass name I've ever heard.
Wow, he was a spy the whole time.
You know they're a spy when they won't even...
He was a
when they go
key
by
witness
H.
in the Alger Hiss trial.
Well, what's the H stand for? And it's like, not...
Hi, I'm a secret spy.
That's crazy. Okay, how do you guys think Charles W. Yost is related to Caroline Yost?
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure,
almost
right?
certainly.
Yeah, it's the only way you can really succeed in comedy is having your great grandfather be the U.S. ambassador to the UN.
Yeah, and
Under
he
Nixon.
told her, "Hey, you have
Wait,
to
I'm
start
gonna-
a comedian meditation."
I'm breaking the rules and I'm clicking on
Is
this
that-
guy.
Okay.
I'm breaking the rules and I'm clicking on this guy real
I
quick.
should start comedian meditating.
I've actually have never been to the group, but I'm on the email list.
What is it?
Caroline has a meditation group for
Okay.
comedians, which is
She's somebody who.
I feel like we'd all start giggling in there.
Wow.
Am
yeah,
I right?
exactly.
She was successful in comedy in Brooklyn before I moved here,
Uh-huh.
or like right as I moved here. So it's like I've never talked to her.
Oh really? She's
No.
great.
Yeah, she seems nice.
You should say.
She seems funny.
You can talk to anyone if you just say hello.
Yes, but I'm just saying it was one of the things where it's like it's when I moved there she should stop.
I don't know who
I
it
like
is.
if I said that unironically. Tom, all you need is the word hello. Should I go? Or no, it's you, Tom. I keep getting
Say
excited.
hello, ask for a job. Email hello in my.
I'm trying to think of it. Wow. This function was performed by the. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything here except H. Julian Wadley being a spy. So he just at the very start they were fucked.
I do really like that whole genre of kind of maybe 1930s to 1960s vibe of American government, where they were like, we have to. There's clearly interesting stuff going on. We need to start, looking into aliens, looking into special powers and stuff. I mean, Men Who Stare at Goats is that, I think. You
Yeah.
seen that? Which is just like
Yeah.
one guy who claims to be kind of.
Yeah, a
Telekinetic
Jedi.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why it's not quite the same, but I think that's why Oppenheimer is an appealing movie because 30s to 60s like spy craft and like government projects are super interesting.
Yeah, it's also just like when America really started to get money. So it's
Yeah.
like when you get a job that pays well, then you start just buying weird stuff because you're so excited.
So
Yeah.
they bought
it is
nuclear
just
bombs.
like,
The
wait,
government-
we're really doing this.
The government spends billions of dollars just trying to make a real life Fantastic Four, just
Yeah.
launching people in rockets.
I mean,
and be
they
like,
did do
Did
that.
anything happen up there?
And then they learned that it's like, fuck, none of this is real. Let's just spend it all on guns and not healthcare.
I feel like they didn't try hard enough to give people superpowers. I think we could pull it off.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say about? Oh yeah, my favorite thing about Oppenheimer is the one guy who is a spy who leaks the hydrogen bomb stuff to them. From that movie, I got him like a 30 article deep Wikipedia page hole
Of spies and stuff.
into spies related to the nuclear program.
Oh yeah.
And it's crazy. Every single Russian spy in like the 30s was immediately killed like after World War II, or even before that in the purges. Like, it was a bad move to be a spy for Russia. It would just kill you.
Yeah, Oppenheimer was really interesting because it did kind of, you think of all of them as like, you know, genuine Russian people who, you know, I think when you're a kid you have in your head the cartoon version
Yeah,
of it.
a guy doing an American accent.
Right, you're someone here who
A guy being
wants
like,
to kill everyone.
Oh,
here,
I'm a big fan of the Cubs.
Yeah, but Oppenheimer is cool where it is just like, they're like us. They're basically like democratic socialists. Like they just think that there should be more to go around or something.
Well, they were at first, and Stalin fucked it up.
Well, yeah.
Not Trotsky.
Oh, I mean like American spies. Because
yeah.
in Oppenheimer, they are just kind of like, this is kind of it seems like a pretty good way to go in terms of government. So then they were like, you know.
No one knew the level of like the reign of terror and shit that was happening in Russia or what could have happened. So I don't blame anyone. I hit the random article button. I think it was just maybe our last one to keep it tight.
Oh, okay.
How long have you going?
Like an hour 15.
Oh, we can do more.
I mean, it's up to us.
Okay, well, this one's cool.
If this is good,
it's a China Kotaram.
That doesn't sound good.
China Kotaram, or China Palace,
boy.
is a rest house that was constructed in 1904 by Sri Mulam Chirunal Rama Varma, the then king of Travancore.
Whoa.
The palace was completed along with commissioning of the Qion Madras rail line. This is in India, by the way.
Yeah.
It is a single-storied red brick building with 7 rooms.
Well, that's definitely worth writing.
That's a fucking palace. Dude, that's a palace to me.
But it's one story? They're built 7 rooms, but not a second floor?
It's generally a blend of Indian architecture, European, Islamic, and Moorish architecture. So kind of all the architectures.
And why is it the China Palace?
And I want you to know that China Kotaram is yet to get the National Heritage Monument accreditation.
Damn.
But they've seemingly
applied.
applied.
They created this article as part of the campaign. Like, see, it's really important.
No
People love
picture
this
of it.
building.
No picture on the Wikipedia.
Well, it's just a red brick building. It's probably not that interesting.
And they called it China House because of its resemblance to the ancient Chinese buildings. So just made that shit up.
Real creative.
It says columnites. I don't know what the fuck a columnite is. It's a person who lives in Column City, I guess.
Yeah.
Before the independence of India, the commercial capital of Travancore Kingdom was Qion, the city with maximum business and commercial reputation in the Travancore Malabar coast with high level of export import.
Maximum business.
One and only airport. Wait, this is weird actually. It's improper English.
Yeah, this is getting.
I'm sure.
It's
guy
translated, I guess.
Yeah.
One and only airport in the Travancore Malabar coast. Wait, did you already read this?
Well, no, yeah, it was situated in Column City. No, I didn't finish it. And during that time, there were no rail air connectivity.
Yeah, you couldn't take a plane into the trains, I guess.
This has nothing to do with China House, this history section. I want to hear why they made it.
Yeah.
Why is China House?
I would love to hear
China
what
Palace.
I would love to hear what the Chinese
Also, I like
place is.
It just sounds like a Chinese restaurant in this suburban area where the
Yeah.
people running it are like Filipino, but they know that white people in town,
Yeah.
which is a ripoff of somebody we know's joke. But yeah, that's what it'd be called, like China Palace.
I like the Quinlan Junction railway station. If you hover over that,
Looks cool. Oh wow,
that's cool, right?
that looks great.
Oh yeah,
Interesting.
a great sunset shot.
Yeah.
They really went hard with that, and it's more than a century old. It's still working.
I love train stuff. I mean, of course I do.
Why would you say that? Why, of course.
I'm a boring white guy. Of course I love trains. I've been looking for years on Depop for a shirt that just has a train on it. But like, they're all kind of either like a choo-choo train. I want, like a nice, like...
Oh, nice train.
Like a...
Look up the Pennsylvania State Railroad license plate. You'll like it.
Okay, it's train talk time.
Well,
I went to a wedding in Saratoga, and then we drove past a model train store, and my friends were like, oh my god, who the fuck would even go in there? And I was like, yeah, who knows?
There's a model train museum by my friend's home in our hometown.
Really?
I never went there my entire life, but I drove by it for like 20 years.
Yeah, there was a big train shop on Long Island that we'd pass a lot going to my cousin's house. And again, it was kind of this kind of thing where everyone's like, well, we're not going to the train shop.
Wait, what's it called? What am I looking up again?
It's the Pennsylvania, look up Pennsylvania Railroad license plate.
Yeah.
And we can comment on that in a second. The funniest thing is I had a couple of friends, it was right by my friend's house, it was right by Elliot's house. And one day Elliot and our other friend tried to go in there during the hours they were open, and they're like, you're not allowed to be in here. And they're like, what? Like, it's a museum. Like, isn't that... And they're like, no, you can't be like this. We're not open. And it's like, it says you're
It's
open.
not that
What's the
kind
point
of
of it?
UC.
Do you think they were trying to keep out like riffraff? Like
I
they were
mean,
kids?
I think maybe because they were like 17 or 18.
Yeah.
There's that energy, but there's also the energy of like guy who's obsessed with model trains that somehow found a way to have his own massive train room that no one can access.
Which honestly, it's like just respect that guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he
Yeah.
just doesn't. I have a lot. I
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah, the train. Did you get the license plate out?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
it looks great, but now I'm uncomfortable that it says preserve our heritage in big letters. That's
It
kind
also
of racist.
says it like this is supposed to spell something out.
Yeah, it says
It's
POH.
It says POH in red, like as if we all know Ho.
Ho.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, that is sad. All the kind of things of just like, you know, that seem generally sweet on the surface of like we love this country. It just can so quickly turn to like fuck you.
Yeah.
It's kind of the next sentence of anything like that.
Well, that's like we had a European history class in college, and they showed us early like Nazi art, and it's like a blonde family like smiling,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Yeah, this seems nice, right?" And we're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Yeah, this is like super racist and like violent
Yeah,
and covered
because
in
if you
blood."
look at how they depicted anyone else.
Yep. Yeah, that art's coming back too, which I'm sure is a great sign.
Yep.
That things are going good.
Well, now it's like AI, and it's just like a bunch of ladies with big boobs, and you're like, I like this.
Yeah, I like the boobs.
I
you
can see why you get drawn in by this
What
stuff.
you realize when you're not racist is there's big boobs everywhere.
All over the world.
Big boobs of every race.
I'm hitting.
Yeah, hit it.
an
Yeah, hit
article.
it.
That's fine.
Eileen Hunt Botting is an American political theorist. Can I?
Oh, no, this is good.
No.
No, this one rocks. This is good.
Why?
Eileen Hunt, Margaret Hunt Botting. Botting is her maiden name's Hunt.
No, her maiden
No,
name is
her
His
Bob.
maiden name's
Botting.
Botting.
Good change.
Born 19. Yeah, true. Yeah, Hunt is much better. I bet she's a real
Her
Hunt.
husband, Mike.
Born 1971 and is an American political theorist and professor of political science. She worked on political thought from the 17th century to the present, which is pretty much all political thought.
Yep.
That's a lot. And she's a professor at Notre Dame, so her opinions might be fucked.
Well, she wrote a book called Artificial Life After Frankenstein, as if Frankenstein is a real thing.
Her essay is called Dracula's Daughter, the rediscovery of a love poem for George Orwell. I think she loves monsters.
This girl is cool.
She loves monsters. She went to Yale. She's a PhD from Yale, an MA from Cambridge, and a BA at Baldwin College.
I'm wondering how old she is if I could date her.
Yeah, me too. She is
monsters.
50.
Yeah, she's born 1971.
Alright, fine.
Yeah, that's within the range.
I like this. It is a main interest, and it means like what she studies. So there's political philosophy, literature, and feminism. That'd be fun if they're like, and she's into croquet.
Yeah. Well, I'd like that she's clearly into monsters, but that's not a part of it. Like,
This is basically a great dating profile for her.
yeah,
She's a 54-year-old woman that loves monsters.
it is cool. Yeah, that writing about Frankenstein, Mary Shelley, and Dracula.
The first
And
last
Wollstonecraft.
man, Mary Shelley, in the post-apocalypse.
Oh, I always get Mary Shelley and Mary Wollstonecraft confused. Or
Me
is that
too.
her maiden name?
I don't know,
I think that maybe it's her maiden name.
because there's definitely no. I don't. Is it?
I don't know. I forget who
Did
Wollstonecraft.
she marry Lord Byron?
No.
No,
she was just
Lord
like,
Byron's
she was
gay
just
as
hanging out
hell.
with him, right?
They were. Yeah, they were.
They were just hanging
No,
out.
Mary Wollstonecraft's a different.
No, they hung
woman.
out in real life for sure. 'Cause that's when she wrote Frankenstein. Was they were like having some sort of writer meeting, and they were like, "Oh, let's all write a short story that's scary." And then she kind of wrote the first draft of Frankenstein.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
I love
there's something
that.
cool
I
like
like
that.
when you read about famous people being contemporaries. That's
Yeah.
kind of my favorite thing.
No, it is nice, especially like real bit far back.
Even when they suck, like Edison and Ford were like hanging out. It's like, okay, well, I don't like either of you, but like that is cool that they would just like call each other on the new
Ford.
phone.
Well, they were kind of like members of the Brooklyn comedy scene today. you know?
Well, that is what
us
if
and
you
all
think
our,
about it.
us and all our contemporaries.
I mean, I do love that. Like when you see, I mean, it's fun when people start doing stuff and you know them, and it's like, yeah, we're all kind of. There's a weird accidental Illuminati, you know.
Oh yeah, accidental.
Yeah. As if anything's an
We're all
As
making
if-
decisions.
As if I'm not in multiple group chats trying to rig everything in my
yeah,
favor.
trying to infiltrate Illuminati.
to destroy my enemies and boost people who give me
who pay me
who
homage.
pay me succulent. What's the word? Succulents? No,
Truculence?
suck.
No, I don't think this
I
is
don't
anything.
know. I'm trying to think.
There's a word that's like
Sucker?
Who
yeah,
pay you?
succor. Yeah, succor. SUCCOR. Assistance and support in times of hardship.
Oh,
Which is not quite.
never
word I
heard
want.
that word before. I like that.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I don't know why this is reminding me that I read about. They had a planned sequel for E.T. 2. Did you ever read about that?
Oh, what happened in
They
E.T. 2?
revealed that his so E.T. comes back and he speaks like English now because like his like translator or something was broken.
So he leaves Earth and now he speaks English?
Well, he comes back because E.T.'s enemies infiltrate Earth, and they're a white and red-eyed version of E.T. that are evil.
Oh,
and
shit.
E.T.'s revealed to be like a general, and his name is Ruck, which I just forgot about that. Worth mentioning.
Wow. Well, I'm glad they thought about making it.
I like that he comes back and he is a commander of war. That's what E.T. is revealed.
E.T. is one of the deadliest people in his
Yeah.
species. He just happened to be pretty benevolent.
E.T. is the Chris Kyle of his planet.
Wow. I like how, so this...
E.T. was very close to shooting Elliot on sight when he first saw him.
Yeah. I'm writing my own paper that's Alien Life After E.T. It's gonna be really good.
Oh, I was like, this is real? This whole series?
I was like, yeah. But she wrote 3 different books on Mary Shelley. The most recent one was published in 2024, and she considered it a trilogy.
Cool. I think we can all say, Eileen, we're big fans of yours.
Yeah.
At least
Eileen, come on the podcast.
we like what
Let's
you're
talk
about
about monsters.
in general.
Yeah.
It's just cool. I mean, obviously very smart.
Yeah, going to Baldwin, Cambridge, and Yale is pretty fucking insane.
Yeah.
She was a recipient of the Colonial Society of Massachusetts Award.
This makes sense to be really into monsters and be from Massachusetts.
No, yeah, that's like very much the American folklore capital.
All my friends
In
from
Maine,
Mass are
yeah.
much more into monsters. My friend began his wedding vows with, I asked before I wrote these vows if I was allowed to mention Dracula.
Oh.
And she said yes.
Oh. Yeah, she was also raised in Maine. Maine's where fucking Stephen King did all his shit.
Yeah.
It's creepy up there too. I was there once.
New
And,
England is a very haunted place.
Yeah. Cape Cod feels like it's haunted.
Haunted now with living.
With living
Heroin
people there.
addicts.
Yeah, my mom's afraid to go to Hyannisport because she's like, it's dangerous there
Yeah,
now.
we've talked about it. I think
Oh,
Cape
yeah,
Cod
yeah.
has gotten because I used to go there as a kid.
Yeah.
These guys just having conversations about the Cape casually all the time.
It's great up there. It's awesome.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Go
Sure,
to
it's
Provincetown. Provincetown.
Yeah, Province.
Love it up there.
My favorite thing about the Cape is it's where rich people used to go on vacation, but now rich people don't vacation in America.
Yeah,
They
they just
go
go
to
to
Europe.
Italy or whatever.
Well, I always thought Martha's Vineyard was like the next step on that. Where,
Oh,
like,
yeah, true.
It was like the Cape was like nice but accessible like to like regular rich people,
Yeah.
and then Martha's Vineyard was like billionaires.
Also, Martha's Vineyard, I think it's more about owning property there. Like the Obamas
Yeah,
own
the
a big
Obamas,
thing.
and then in the end of Inglourious Bastards, the Christoph Waltz asks for land on Nantucket. And I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, which is the island over.
Mm.
Yeah.
All
Good
right,
for
Eileen,
Christoph.
love you, big fan of you.
Love you. All right, I'll go next, and maybe we'll finish off
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Ooh, full disclosure, 2001 film. Full Disclosure is a 2001 thriller film starring Fred Ward, Christopher Plummer,
Whoa.
Rachel Ticotin, and Penelope Ann Miller. It was directed by John Bradshaw.
Don't know him.
This picture is so sick. It's very 2001, the poster.
Background. The film was
Oh,
shot
yeah.
in 1999 and the release was delayed due to distributing problems.
Okay,
And it has the definition of distributing, but it has a Wikipedia page for distributing, but it's about electrical distribution from a mechanical device.
It makes you so sad with movies, how sometimes just movies don't happen really.
Yeah,
There's so much
Just,
work.
like it gets made and it just goes into hell.
Ooh, I went away from it.
I forgot.
It was nominated for 7 Video Premiere Awards. Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Original Score, Best Live Action Premiere, Best Screenplay, and Best Director.
It sounds like all of it was mid at best.
Yeah, was
so
it
one of
released
the
straight to
best.
VHS?
Unclear. Let's see. Did it get a distributor?
It doesn't have a box office.
Distributed by First Look Pictures. So like real Buena Vista.
Yeah, it's a real.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a box office amount. It doesn't have a budget.
It doesn't have anything. This is a stub article.
Yeah, why is it a stub article for a real movie?
Yeah, like this seems like a real movie. It has Christopher Plummer and it has like an actor
Yeah.
I recognize. You know.
Fred
Plummer's
Ward.
making some
Oh, if you hover over Fred
I mean,
Ward,
clearly.
yeah, he's in the right stuff.
Oh yeah, I've seen that guy.
Yeah, I've seen that guy before. He
Oh,
also
he
looks
looks
like John Bernthal, so that's probably why I think I know him.
Which one?
Fred Ward.
Fred Ward. Fake name.
Freddie Joe Ward.
Trying to see if I
He
know
started
him
with a
as
role in
a
an
star.
Italian television movie in 1973.
Like
It's,
hover over Kim Frederick Coates. God, that's crazy.
Oh, we're just looking at these
Oh, Jesus.
actors.
Yeah, I
He
got.
looks like an evil Paul Rudd. Rudd.
He looks like Paul Rudd and Joaquin Phoenix.
He looks
The
like
fusion
Paul,
dance.
yeah, and they're playing the devil.
Trying to
He's a little soul patch.
Trying to see if any of these people are relevant.
Oh, he's in Bad Boys. Kim, the man named Kim.
I would love if there was a
Ooh,
person.
Daniel Joseph Loria was in The Wonder Years.
Yeah, I've seen that guy before. I would love if there was a guy who's a minor character, but this was the first movie they're in.
He was the main guy in that show Sullivan and Son, which you remember was on TBS in about 2012.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was like, what if a white guy had an Asian son? I think is what it's about.
Yep. Yeah, that guy's a comedian.
That's kind of like
Which one?
From Sullivan and Son.
the old guy.
I know the young guy.
Yeah,
I don't
That's Daniel Loria, perhaps.
No, the old guy's the father. Look at whole hover over him.
Daniel Loria, I don't see. Oh, Dan Loria, yeah, but he plays Clive Carter. Oh, so he's the dad. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Jack Sullivan. He's Sullivan, and then there's his son.
Yeah, what's the comedian's name?
Yeah, look it up. Whatever.
It's credited by Steve Byrne. Yeah.
I remember they were crediting Vince Vaughn as a producer to get people to watch it.
That's never good.
They're like, damn, Vince Vaughn had a hand in
I
that.
never
not
realized,
bad.
like, you should know, like, Vince Vaughn. I know I saw Dodgeball as a kid. I did not understand that he was, like, a bankable comedy star. Like, he was, like, the biggest comedy star in, like, 2005.
Old school Dodgeball.
Yeah, he had an era there. We had Wedding Crashers. And shit.
Yeah.
I
You know,
just
Fred
saw Old
Claus?
School for the first time.
So good.
You call it Freed Claus?
I said Fred Claus.
That's what you think it's called.
It's pronounced Freed.
It's about him getting out of prison.
Wait, did you? I saw Old School maybe 2 years ago and I loved it.
Yeah, I loved Old School. It was interesting to me that Will Ferrell is in the middle of the poster, and he's kind of it was interesting knowing The Hangover pretty well, and then seeing Old School, where it's like, oh, this is just The Hangover, basically.
Yeah.
Like, same exact dynamic. Will Ferrell is basically the Zach Galifianakis version. He's just the weirdest one, but he's so funny in that movie that they kind of made it his movie.
Yeah.
But it's or it's not even Vince Vaughn is the lead. It's
Luke Wilson.
Yeah, it's Luke Wilson.
Yeah.
But I love that movie. I'm trying to like virtue signal or whatever. I do get annoyed that half of Todd Phillips' jokes are like, that girl's 17.
Oh yeah. It's objectively. I love the movie. It's objectively incredibly sexist. Like very like absurdly sexist.
Which I'm like,
Also, like intimacy coordinator wise, there's a scene where they have Andy Dick humorously show women how to suck penis on a cucumber, but then they just have the actual real actresses do it, and I was like, I don't know, that seems bad in retrospect knowing what we know about Hollywood, where it's like, I don't know.
I was watching a scene from like Click the other day, I think.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, it's weird to me that Adam Sandler is conservative. Like, he's a conservative guy.
He is.
Yeah, he's right wing.
Like, yeah, at least like.
He's still friends
I
with
don't
Rob
think he's
Schneider,
like-
puts him on his tour.
Yeah, they're all that whole crew.
Yeah, that crew is. Yeah, they're not.
And it was
Not
interesting to
woke.
me, like, it's so funny that I guess I just personally find the right wing humor like not good, but it's funny. It's like it just happens to always be people who are on the right. Where Adam Sandler in Click is like old, like he travels to the future by accident, and then he looks at a picture and he goes like, "That's your girl, pretty hot," and they go like, "That's your daughter, Dad." And it's like, why the fuck? What? Like, who is that joke for? Like for a bunch of guys to be like, "That's crazy."
I
The
mean, I
17
really.
thing in Old School is especially egregious because there's no reason that she couldn't just be. He's like 30-year-old banging like a college girl, so that's like already not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, if it had been 3 months later, this would have been completely awesome.
And then the second level is that she's the boss's daughter. It's also like, oh, there's some comedy there. And then for no reason, for like maybe half a laugh, she's like, and she's in high school.
Yeah, they just say
And
that.
it's you don't even need that.
Also,
If she's in high school, you can make her 18, and if she's 18, you can make her in college. There's a lot of
I mean,
stuff
I think
where they
she
could have done one thing different.
I mean, we should pivot away from this topic as soon as we can. But it is interesting
We can talk
to
about
me
Old School.
that they don't. Well, I think what bothers me about it is if you want to make that joke, because that is like a crazy mistake that the guy made. It's like, fine, make that joke. But my issue with it is they have zero moral judgment on it whatsoever. Where he just goes like, he basically looks at the camera and goes like, "Oh boy, here's another one."
Also,
like,
she was drunk.
And she's drunk, at his house.
And then he gets the happy ending, and like the other guy's a jerk.
Like the
Luke
end
Wilson.
Of the film?
Yeah, Luke Wilson gets the girl.
That easily could have been a scene in the film, honestly.
And also, there's no lesson.
No,
I do like.
Will
the
Ferrell
trailer.
degrades as a person throughout the film. Vince Vaughn is the same at the end.
I do like how at the end of the movie, both the bad guys die horribly. I think that's a very funny scene.
Do they?
Yeah, at the end, like post credit, I think maybe even they just like one of them is fishing and the other one's in a car, and he like drives his car off a cliff and lands on the guy. Fishing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
and
that.
I think that's pretty funny. That's a good ending.
I
to
got
the
really
movie.
sad when the old man died when he was
Yeah,
wrestling in the mud pool.
Oh, you know who I love is this in that I noticed is the guy from Suits. Patrick.
Yes,
Whatever.
he plays like he's a side guy.
He's a
and
side
he plays
guy.
guitar with sunglasses on.
Yes, yeah. And then fucking one of my favorite comedian, Rob Corddry.
Yeah.
Rob Corddry, it's like one of his first movie roles, and then he was later in Hot Tub Time Machine and stuff, and like
Wait,
Children's
who is he in
Hospital.
it again?
He's just a fraternity brother. He barely talks.
Oh, really?
But he's just in the movie.
background? I
Yeah.
didn't know this. I love him.
And they have Artie Lang.
Yeah,
Artie Lang with a nose.
It was
Yeah.
really fun to watch. I had kind of the same experience with like Mystery Men recently, where it's just like, oh, all these people who are just kind of mainstay comedy actors, they just kind of show up, and if you see a movie that's a little bit before your time, it's like, oh my god, like everyone's here because people will blow up.
That's
later.
he's on the Old School too, but he's in everything. Is the guy who founded UCB,
Matt Walsh.
Matt Walsh is in everything.
Not the right wing one.
Matt Walsh, the red.
The redhead
the red
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
He's in like almost every comedy series.
And
He's
he's
in
super
all
funny.
these.
Yeah,
Comedy
he's
movies.
great.
very
He's always
funny.
great.
But he founded UCB with like Andy Bullock. But it's like
before.
he created a style of improv comedy, and he's still just like, I can't star in anything. I'll never be good enough to
But
be
he's
the
just a
main
good
guy.
character actor.
No,
He's
yeah.
great.
I mean, he's good in like his only bleeding thing he has is Veep. He's one of the main ensemble.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then he made a stoner, like a bad stoner comedy at one point.
Oh, nice.
Which did make me not like him as much.
Yeah. But Old School's good. Yeah, I want to watch this movie now, it seems. To go back to full disclosure. What are they disclosing?
It's unclear. There's
What
no
is it?
plot on the page.
It was, wait, hold on. This movie came out
Wait,
in 2001, but was released in Greece in 2008.
Okay,
The
I
Canadian
can,
working title was All the Fine Lines.
I can get you the subtitle, like the kind of tagline on the poster.
Oh, yeah.
First, they tried to kill the story. Now they are out to kill the reporter. So it's pretty clear. Reporter reports on something she's not supposed to, and they try to kill her.
That's almost too long. It's a good title, or a good little blurb,
Yeah.
but it's almost too long and practical to be like a cool.
I like
that
that
just kind of
idea.
explains the plot.
I feel like they could say now they try to kill her even would be better.
I
in
would
terms
like
of,
it if in like the Avatar poster they had a blurb that said he was on Earth and then he went to an alien planet.
Now he's a
everyone's
blue
blue.
guy.
Now he has to fight for them, even though he's a human.
Yeah.
That's like putting that.
I think the cast is Fred Ward as John McWhorter, and then they have a second guy as young John McWhorter. But this I feel like isn't a big enough movie to be like, yeah, I played young John McWhorter
Yeah,
for 2 scenes.
Well, they also have a young Sarah Archer and a young Simon Brahman,
And,
played by Cole House Campbell.
Wow, so they
Which
have,
is
they have
crazy.
flashback scenes
Who the fuck is
explaining to
that?
those children what full disclosure means.
Yeah.
Wait, Cole House must be Nicholas Campbell, the actor's real son.
Oh yeah.
But his name is fucking Cole House.
Also, Nicholas Campbell looks very funny in this picture.
Yeah, he's making a goofy face.
Yeah.
Unclear if he just looks weird or if he's making a goofy face.
Yeah, I think that's just
I think he's just being silly.
He's a 4-time winner of the Gemini Award.
I think the reason why this movie never was anything, or it doesn't have a good article here, is it's a Canadian film.
That'll do it.
That's why we don't know half these people and stuff. And
Uh,
that's why it won Video Premiere Awards, because that's a Canadian award show, I'm
But the
assuming.
director is Australian,
Crikey.
and he was a game show host.
Okay, that kind of rules.
He was never mind. He was a presenter on the music video show Saturday Night Jukebox on the 7 network in
yeah.
Australia. But he's done.
Oh, there's 7. You watch Saturday Night Jukebox on 7.
Saturday Night Jukebox.
Well, they got 7 channels now.
Channel 5 on the BBC.
What the fuck is Australia? He won a Logie Award. What the fuck?
I guess we have Emmy. That's not much better.
No, Emmy is better than Logie.
Logie sounds so fucking Australian.
Oh, got a Logie. It sounds like if you took
Oi,
a shit.
I want a Logie.
you took a shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you drop a Logie in there.
Here's my Logie.
Smells like Logie.
Yeah, okay, he hosted a children's game show called Time Masters.
Time Master.
Yeah, they're called Time Masters because they've lived the least amount of time.
He doesn't use all the time.
They have time on their side because they're young.
The challenges are just things like wait 3 years for this bond to mature,
That
and then
is
you
a
get all
good-
the money in it.
That's a good way to close it out, is that we believe that children are truly the masters of time.
I do.
Because
Children
they're
are
young.
The children are our future, and
They're going to outlive me.
Mhm.
Probably.
We're now servants of time because
Yeah.
we're a little older.
look, time is money, and I don't have any time.
We just took an hour,
We did an hour
30
40.
minutes, hour 40 minutes away from you. It'll be edited down, I'm sure.
Pretty good. I'm doing a show at 7:30, so.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah, guys. If you're listening to this podcast, the next hour and 15 minutes, Neil's on a show at Crystal Lake.
Yep, and that is
Oh, is
on
that why you asked?
March 23rd,
Jenna
2025.
Sheridan. Jenna Sheridan's on the show at Union Hall. So I didn't know if you were also on the show because Michael Adler's show. So I didn't look at the
Oh,
lineup. So I was
yeah.
like, oh, if you're
Seems
going to
achievable.
that, we would maybe Uber there or something. I don't think we're gonna go.
Yeah,
Or
it's
I'm
too
not
bad I
gonna go.
can't make it to. There's a couple good shows tonight. And yeah, I would definitely like to go to Amber's. I gotta text them though.
Yeah.
Just tell them I can't make it. Are we done?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
You guys
alright.
have anything to plug to our many listeners that always listen to the end?
No. Let's see. I'm bringing back my monthly show.
Nice.
In May. So that'll be on May 22nd at The Gutter. Casual Acquaintances.
Yeah.
is the name of the
Casual acquaintances.
Or it's technically called Neill Lynskey and Casual Acquaintances, but I made my name super small on the poster because I'm insecure.
Yeah.
That's
You're like,
good.
I'm not good enough to have an in friends and friends.
That's
show."
what it is. Yeah, my friend was
Yeah.
like, why would you call it that? It's and friends.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
I just went on your website.
I like my website.
That was good. I don't know why. I was just aimlessly Googling.
Alright, bye bye, audience. I love
Thank you
you.
for
Bye,
listening.
guys.